This message is not for everyone. It is only for those who are chosen. If you are here, listening right now, it means something deep within you has been stirred. You've felt it, the restless nights, the sudden wake-ups at strange hours, the feeling that your bed is no longer just a place of sleep, but a place of battle, a place of mystery, a place of divine encounter. You've asked yourself, why? Why do I keep waking up like this? Why do I feel heavy in the night, as though something is pressing down on me? Why do I lie awake with thoughts that seem too strange, too vivid, too intentional to ignore? You are not here by accident. You are not hearing this message by chance. God is reaching for you, and He is using your bed, the very place of rest, to get your attention. What you've been experiencing is not random. It's not coincidence. It's invitation. Invitation into revelation. Invitation into alignment. Invitation into destiny. Your nights are not ordinary. Your rest is not empty. God is about to reveal why He wants you to pay attention in bed, and why ignoring this could cost you everything. If your spirit is stirring right now, if you feel like this message is speaking directly into your life, then you are not here by accident. You are part of the few chosen to receive this truth. Do not let it pass you by. Take a step of obedience, like, comment, and subscribe right now. This is not just supporting a channel. It's aligning yourself with the flow of divine revelation that God is pouring out. Stay connected, and more truth will continue to unfold for you, guiding you deeper into His calling. You need to understand something from the very beginning. Being chosen is not common. Many are called. Few are chosen, and even fewer respond. You wouldn't be here if you weren't part of the few. Something deep in your spirit has been tugged, pulling you into this moment. That is no accident. That is alignment. Think about the nights you felt isolated, even when surrounded by people in the day. You lie down, and suddenly the weight of loneliness presses harder than it ever did in the light. You feel spiritual heaviness, shadows you cannot see, battles you cannot name. You toss and turn. You hear whispers of fear, thoughts that come uninvited, and you wonder, why is the night so much harder than the day? Why does darkness feel alive when the world is asleep? What you are experiencing is not just restlessness. It is not just random anxiety. It is the unseen world reaching for you. Nights are not only physical, they are deeply spiritual. And your bed, yes, your bed, is more than a place of sleep. It is a sacred space, a place where you are most vulnerable, most open, most reachable by God. Why do you think attacks come at night? Why do you think your mind feels unsettled when you should be at peace? Because the night exposes what the day hides. In the silence of darkness, heaven speaks, and hell fights back. And you, the chosen one, feel it more than anyone else. You've wondered why your nights feel heavy, why you wake up with strange thoughts, why your dreams seem more like messages than random stories. This is not random. This is not meaningless. It is divine appointment. It is a signal that your life carries weight in the spirit, and heaven refuses to let you miss what is being sent your way. And here's the promise. By the end of this message, the confusion will break. The heaviness will lift. The mystery of your nights will make sense. God will show you how to turn your bed into an altar, your sleep into revelation, your rest into alignment. You will not leave this message the same. You will leave with clarity, with transformation, with a divine awareness that changes everything. This is the moment your nights stop being battles you fear and start being encounters you embrace. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal explains why your nights have never felt normal. God does not waste time. He does not stir your spirit without purpose. When He calls you in the quiet of night, when He disturbs your sleep, it is because your bed is not just a mattress. It is a meeting place. Think about what happens when you lay down. You release control. You surrender. Your guard comes down. In the day, you're busy, distracted, surrounded by noise. But in bed, in the silence of night, you are vulnerable, open, exposed. And it is in that surrender where God chooses to meet you. The bed is a prophetic symbol. It represents the place where you give up your strength. You cannot fight to stay awake forever. At some point, your body collapses and you yield. That yielding is holy. That surrender is divine. God waits for it, because in your weakness, His voice grows stronger. In your stillness, His whisper is clear. This is why you feel the pull. That restlessness you feel at night is not ordinary insomnia. It is not meaningless tossing and turning. It is invitation. An invitation from heaven that says, "Come closer. Listen. I have something to show you." Every time you wake up suddenly, every time your spirit feels unsettled in your bed, that is God knocking. What He wants to give you in those moments cannot always be spoken in daylight. Some revelations come only in the night, because the night strips distractions. The night quiets voices. The night leaves only you and God. That is why dreams carry messages. That is why visions often come when your eyes are closed. The bed becomes the gateway, a portal for divine downloads, words, instructions, warnings, promises that shape your destiny. When you wake up with dreams that feel too vivid to forget, that's not just your mind wandering, that's your soul receiving. When you see visions in the dark, when you hear words in the silence, those are not hallucinations. Those are heavenly encounters. Angels move in those hours. The Spirit whispers when the world is asleep. God has chosen your bed as the place of meeting, but here is the challenge. Many dismiss it. They roll over, fall back asleep, and say, "It's nothing, just my imagination." And in doing so, they miss the appointment. They ignore the invitation, and what God wanted to reveal passes them by. Do not be one of them. You cannot dismiss what has been happening to you. You cannot ignore the patterns, the restlessness, the midnight stirrings. You are chosen. God is not just calling anyone, He is calling you. And this calling comes with a question. Will you respond, or will you turn away? Because if you respond, your nights will never be wasted again. They will become encounters. They will become classrooms of revelation. They will become sacred appointments where God downloads wisdom, warnings, and direction into your soul. But if you ignore them, the heaviness will only grow. The confusion will only deepen. This is why you are here now, to finally understand, to finally stop dismissing the call and start embracing it. God is ready to meet you in your bed, ready to speak when you surrender, ready to reveal what only the chosen get to hear. The choice is yours. Coincidence or calling? Distraction or destiny? Invitation or ignorance? You know the answer already. Now that you understand why God calls you in your bed, you must know what to do about it. This cannot stay as head knowledge. It must become action. Revelation without response is wasted. And the truth is simple. You must start tonight. Delay means missing God's timing. The first step is prayer before lying down. Do not crawl into bed distracted, scrolling, or carrying the weight of the day. Set the atmosphere. Close your eyes and invite the presence of God into your rest. A simple prayer of surrender is enough. Lord, meet me tonight. Use this bed as your altar. Speak, and I will listen. That prayer turns your bed from ordinary to holy. The second step is dedication. Declare over your bed that it belongs to God. Say it out loud. This space is not for darkness. This bed is not for attacks. This is the dwelling place of God's presence. Your words carry power. And when you consecrate your bed, you shift the spiritual atmosphere. What once was a battlefield becomes a sanctuary. The third step is preparation. Keep a journal or notebook beside your bed. God does not always repeat Himself. If He gives you a dream, a vision, or a word, it may not come back again. Record it immediately. Even if it feels small or strange, write it down. Later, it will make sense. Later, you will see the pattern. But if you neglect to record it, the instruction can slip away like water through your hands. The fourth step is discernment. Pay attention to recurring dreams, repeated patterns, or consistent symbols. They are not random. When something keeps showing up, heaven is speaking louder. Listen. Pray for understanding. Ask God to reveal the meaning. And watch how clarity comes when you treat the message with respect. Most people ignore these calls. They roll over, dismiss the dreams, or laugh at the thought that God could be speaking in such a personal way. But you cannot. You are chosen. The weight of your calling is too heavy to take lightly. Where others see coincidence, you must see divine appointment. Where others choose sleep, you must choose awareness. So treat your nights as appointments with God. Do not go to bed casually anymore. Go to bed prepared, expectant, aligned. Every time your head hits the pillow, remember, you are entering holy ground. Your vulnerability is not weakness. It is openness. Your rest is not silence. It is a conversation. You must begin tonight, not tomorrow, not when it feels convenient, tonight, because heaven's timing is urgent and God's invitations are precious. Do not ignore them. Do not delay. The Spirit is calling. Your obedience unlocks everything. Let me share with you a picture of what happens when these nightly stirrings are ignored and what happens when they are embraced. There was a man who used to wake up almost every night at the same time. 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. He would lie there restless, frustrated, tossing and turning. He brushed it off as insomnia or stress or just bad sleep. He never prayed. He never asked why. He never wrote down the strange dreams that came and went. And slowly, his peace faded. His purpose dimmed. He felt like he was drifting, disconnected from God's voice. The invitations came, but he turned away. And in turning away, he lost alignment. Now, contrast that with another story. There was someone who experienced the same nightly awakenings, the same strange dreams, the same heaviness in the night. But instead of ignoring it, they leaned in. They prayed before bed. They wrote down every dream, even the confusing ones. They asked God for clarity, and little by little, the pieces began to fit together. What once felt random became a map. What once felt like noise became divine instruction. And because they responded, doors began to open. Breakthroughs came. Answers to long-standing questions arrived in the form of dreams. Warnings saved them from traps. Directions guided them into opportunities they never could have imagined. The very nights that once felt heavy became the nights of greatest revelation. Do you see the difference? One dismissed the invitation and slipped into confusion. The other responded, and their destiny accelerated. That same choice is standing in front of you right now. This is why you cannot ignore what God is doing in your bed, in your nights, in your sleep. It could be your story. It already is your story. The heaviness you've felt, the dreams you've seen, the awakenings you've experienced, they are proof that God is calling. The question is, will you turn away like the first man? Or will you respond like the second? Will your nights remain battles of frustration, or will they become encounters of revelation? The choice is yours, and it begins tonight. You must understand, this goes deeper than dreams alone. God does not only call you through visions in the night. There are times He wakes you suddenly, not for sleep's sake, but for prayer. He stirs you because there is something happening in the Spirit that cannot wait until morning. The night is when the enemy works hardest. It is the hour when curses are spoken, when darkness moves silently, when fear tries to creep into hearts. While the world is sleeping, unseen battles are raging. But hear me. The same night when the enemy schemes is the very night when God equips His chosen. That is why He wakes you. That is why you cannot roll over and dismiss it. Every time you feel that sudden stirring, that sudden heaviness, that sudden whisper pulling you awake, it may not be restlessness. It may be heaven telling you, get up, pray, stand in the gap, break what the enemy is trying to release. Do you see? These awakenings are not interruptions. They are assignments, and sometimes the call is not to fight, but to listen. God may wake you to give you warning. He may speak of something ahead, something you need to avoid, a trap being laid in secret. Other times, He may stir you to receive instruction, specific steps for your life, a word of direction, a piece of wisdom that will carry you forward. And because it comes at night, you know it is not drowned in noise. It is pure. It is direct. It is divine. There is hidden meaning here. Night visits are not punishment. They are promotion. They are signs that heaven trusts you with more. Think about it. God does not wake just anyone. He does not disturb the sleep of those who are not called. But when you feel it, it means you are trusted with secrets. Secrets that are not spoken in the daylight. Secrets meant only for the chosen. This is why ignoring the call is so dangerous. Every ignored call weakens your alignment. Every moment you dismiss, Every time you roll back into sleep without responding, something is lost. But every answered call accelerates your destiny. Every time you rise, pray, listen, or write down what He shows you, you move closer into alignment with Heaven's plan. Do not take this lightly. Your destiny depends on it. Your protection depends on it. Your clarity depends on it. Because God reveals secrets in the stillness of the night. Secrets about you. Secrets about your future. Secrets about the unseen battles being fought around you. And here is the promise. If you respond, those nights will no longer be heavy with confusion. They will become filled with revelation. Instead of fear, you will feel peace. Instead of oppression, you will feel power. Instead of sleepless frustration, you will lie down with expectation, knowing heaven is about to speak. The night is no longer your enemy. It is your appointment, and God is waiting. Now let's talk about what happens when you obey. When you treat your bed as sacred, when you respond to those midnight calls, the benefits are not small. They are life-changing. First, you will experience peaceful rest. The nights that once felt heavy will begin to carry a supernatural calm. Instead of tossing and turning, you will lie down knowing your sleep is guarded. You will wake not drained but refreshed. Imagine opening your eyes in the morning and feeling as though the weight has been lifted, the confusion gone, the atmosphere clear. That is what obedience brings. Second, divine clarity. So many people wander through life asking, "What should I do? Where should I go? What decision should I make?" But those who answer God's call in the night receive answers others never hear. In the quiet hours when distraction is gone, God speaks plainly. He whispers instruction, reveals direction, and places wisdom into your spirit. Imagine waking up and suddenly knowing the answer to something you wrestled with for weeks. That is the reward of obedience. Third, protection from attacks. Night is when the enemy tries hardest, but when you are awake and alert in spirit, you break those assignments before they can take root. You cancel what was planned against you. Your obedience becomes your shield. Many don't even realize how many dangers they escape simply because they rose when God stirred them. The trap was set, but it never caught them. Why? Because heaven warned them in the night. Fourth, acceleration of purpose. When you answer God in the secret place, He accelerates you in the public place. What others labor for years to achieve, you walk into with favor. Doors open faster. Opportunities align quicker. Why? Because your obedience at night proves your readiness by day. You become trusted with more, and destiny unfolds at a pace you never imagined. And here's the emotional charge. Imagine this. You lie down weary, unsure, confused. But you wake up refreshed, filled with answers you didn't have before, shielded from dangers you didn't even see, and pushed further into your purpose than you thought possible. But here is the truth. Not everyone will experience this. Few will. Why? Because few respond. Most dismiss the stirring. Most call it coincidence. Most roll over and go back to sleep. But you are different. You are chosen. Hope rises here. You can be among the few who obey. You can step into the rare blessing of those who answer God's call in the night. Your bed can become the place where breakthrough begins. And if you respond, your life will never be the same. Now it's time to move from revelation to action. You've heard the message. You've felt the stirring. But nothing changes until you apply it. So here is your roadmap, a clear step-by-step guide to aligning your nights with God's call. Before you even think about sleep, prepare your space. Pray over your room. Read a passage of Scripture aloud. Play worship or instrumental music that invites peace. Darkness cannot linger where the light of God's Word is present. Your atmosphere matters. Shift it, and you shift what enters your night. Your words carry power. Don't just lie down in silence. Declare out loud, "Lord, this bed belongs to you. I dedicate my rest to you. I will hear, I will see, I will obey." These declarations open your spirit and close every door to distraction. They set the tone for the night. Pray a simple but powerful prayer. Lord, visit me tonight. Speak clearly. Reveal what I need to know. Then lie down with expectation. Don't treat your rest as ordinary. It is an appointment. Invite Him in and believe He will come. Keep a journal or your phone near your bed. When you wake from a dream or when a thought stirs you in the night, write it immediately. Do not wait. Do not assume you'll remember later. You won't. God gives secrets in whispers. Honor them by recording them. In the morning, reflect. Ask, what was God saying to me? This is where most people fail. They hear, they dream, they feel the stirring, but they delay. Don't wait. If God tells you to pray for someone, do it. If He warns you, adjust quickly. If He reveals direction, take the step. Every act of obedience opens the door to more revelation. And here is the urgency. Do not wait. Start tonight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight. Delay means missing God's timing. Delay means drifting back into the noise of distraction. But obedience tonight sets you apart as chosen. And here is your encouragement. You can do this. You don't need special training. You don't need years of spiritual knowledge. All you need is a willing heart, a sacred space, and the courage to say, yes, you are capable. You are ready. And tonight, you can begin. You have heard the revelation. You have seen the pattern. Now it is clear. Your nights are not random. Your restlessness is not meaningless. God has been speaking. He has been calling. And tonight, you finally understand why. The promise is transformation. The promise is clarity. The promise is peace. The promise is acceleration into your destiny. This is not theory. This is not imagination. This is what happens when you treat your nights as divine appointments. But remember, this message is not for everyone. It is not for the casual listener. It is not for the distracted. It is not for those who mock or ignore. It is for you. Because you are chosen. Because you are ready. Because God has marked your life for alignment. Do you feel the weight of that truth? Few are called. Fewer respond. Yet, here you are, hearing these words, stirred in your spirit, knowing this is not coincidence. God has been waiting for this moment with you, and He is waiting tonight. So let this be your surrender. Let this be your trust. Dedicate your bed. Prepare your space. Speak your declarations. Invite Him in. Write what He shows you. Obey without delay. Tonight can be the night everything shifts. Do not ignore the bed where God will meet you. Do not dismiss the whispers that stir you awake. Do not brush off the dreams that feel too strange to matter. They matter. They are your roadmap. They are your lifeline. Few will act. Most will scroll on. But you cannot, because you are chosen. Because this message has pierced your heart. So I ask you, will you act? Will you surrender? Will you be among the few who respond and rise into alignment? If this word spoke to your spirit, let your response be more than silent agreement. Like this video, comment your testimony. Subscribe and stay connected. Not just as support, but as faith. As obedience, as alignment, you are chosen, you are prepared, and God is waiting for you tonight.